Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make Jun Zi Tang, a classical Chinese medicine formula with nearly 1,000 years of history. Let's start with a little history. Jun Zi Tang originated from the Song Dynasty Pharmacopoeia, the Taiping Huimin He Ji Jufang. According to the text, this formula treats qi deficiency of the yin and wei, weakness of the organs, abdominal fullness, loss of appetite, diarrhea, and nausea. In other words, if your digestion is weak, you feel bloated, have no appetite, or keep running to the bathroom, this formula might just be for you. The text also mentions that regular use can warm and harmonize the spleen and stomach, improve appetite, and help protect the body against cold and pathogenic influences. So why is it called the Four Gentlemen Decoction? Because all four herbs are moderate and balanced in nature, warming without being drying, tonifying without being harsh. Just like a true gentleman, steady, balanced, and reliable. Jun Zi Tang is particularly suitable for 3 groups of people. First, those with weak digestion who experience bloating or loose stools. Second, office workers suffering from chronic fatigue, shortness of breath, or low energy. Third, those recovering from childbirth, surgery, or prolonged illness. Warming without being drying, tonifying without being harsh. It is an ideal daily formula for qi nourishment. So what exactly are the signs that someone might need Jun Zi Tang? The most common ones include fatigue, poor digestion, loss of appetite, loose stools, a pale complexion, and a weak pulse. If any of this sounds familiar, whether for yourself or a patient, Jun Zi Tang might be worth considering. However, there are 3 situations where this formula should be avoided. First, those with excess heat signs such as dry mouth, red tongue, or yellow coating. Second, during the acute phase of a cold or flu, as tonifying qi may trap the pathogen inside. Third, long-term or high-dose use should always be guided by a licensed practitioner to avoid side effects such as qi stagnation or bloating. Okay, now that we've covered the basics of Jun Zi Tang, let's take a closer look at each of the 4 herbs in this formula. Each one has its own unique character and story. Let's dive in. First, we have ren shen, or ginseng. This is the chief herb of the formula. It powerfully tonifies the yuan qi, the source energy of the body. In ancient China, ginseng was considered more precious than gold, often reserved for emperors and the elite. Its taste is slightly sweet and bitter, with a warm energy that fills and energizes the body from within. Next is baizhu, or white atractylodes. This is the deputy herb. It strengthens the spleen, dries dampness, and helps the body transform and transport nutrients efficiently. It has a slightly sweet and bitter taste with a warm nature. Think of it as the digestive engine of this formula. Third is fuling, or poria. Also a deputy herb, fuling leaches out dampness and calms the mind. It is actually a fungus that grows on the roots of pine trees. In Chinese medicine, it is said to nourish the heart and calm the shen, the spirit. Its taste is bland and sweet, and its nature is neutral, making it one of the most gentle yet effective herbs in the Chinese pharmacopoeia. Finally, we have ji gan chao, or honey-fried licorice root. This is the envoy herb. Its role is to harmonize all the other herbs and enhance their effects. The honey frying process makes it warmer in nature and strengthens its ability to tonify the spleen qi. It has a wonderfully sweet taste, and it is said that ganchao appears in nearly half of all classical Chinese medicine formulas. Alright, let's talk about the tools we'll need today. First up, gloves. Any color works as long as you keep things clean and hygienic. Next is a digital scale, ideally one where you can place your weighing bowl on top and tare it to 0 so you're only measuring the weight of the herbs themselves. Speaking of the weighing bowl, I'd recommend going with a bigger one because some herbs can be quite bulky and nobody wants to weigh things in multiple batches. Then we have the small spatula. When you're working with tiny herbs, like Wang Bu Lu Sheng for example, a spatula can be really helpful for scooping them out. That said, I have to be honest, our herbs today are all pretty large, and partway through filming, I kind of regretted insisting on using the spatula. I eventually realized that just using my gloved hand was way more efficient. And finally, the herb pot. Any brand or size works. I've heard plenty of people just use a regular rice cooker at home. I'm lucky enough to have a dedicated herb pot, which definitely made things a lot easier. Now let's start weighing our herbs one by one. First up is ren shen, ginseng, 9 grams. These thin, stringy pieces are actually pretty easy to weigh accurately, though I have to say, they're not the easiest to scoop with a spatula. Let me add just a little more. Oh, too much. Don't panic, we just put a little back. No big deal. That's just life. We all make mistakes, and that's completely okay. Nobody's perfect. What matters is that we catch it and correct it in time. Next is Bai Zhu, white atractylodes, also 9 grams. When you're just a tiny bit short on the scale, a useful trick is to simply break a piece in half to get closer to your target weight. Works like a charm. Third is Fuling, Puria, 9 grams. My personal rule is that a little over is fine, but try not to go under. So 9.2 grams, totally acceptable. And finally, Ji Gan Chao, honey fried licorice, 6 grams. Fair warning, this one is a little sticky. And I'll be honest, I was fighting the urge to sneak a taste the entire time. It smells absolutely amazing. If you ever get the chance to smell it in person, you'll know exactly what I mean. Once each herb is weighed, we bring them all together. 4 herbs, 1 formula, 1 purpose, to tonify the qi and restore balance. Place the herbs into the pot and add 2 bowls of water. This is where modern technology really shines. In ancient times, decocting herbs required preparing a fire and having someone dedicated to watching over the pot the entire time, a time-consuming and labor-intensive process. Today, I simply place everything into my electric herb pot, set the timer, and go about my day. My herb pot recommends a decoction time of 45 minutes. When the timer goes off, the formula is ready, and here is our finished decoction. A warm, earthy brew made from just 4 simple herbs. One important safety tip before you pour. The decoction is very hot right after brewing, so please be careful not to burn yourself. And based on my own experience, the lid of the herb pot has a tendency to slip off while pouring. Always make sure to press the lid down firmly with your hand before you start pouring. Safety first, everyone. Based on my own experience, after drinking this, my skin carries a subtle herbal fragrance for the entire day. Clearly, this formula is a perfect match for my constitution. That said, this is just my personal experience. Everyone's body is different, so please make sure to consult your licensed practitioner before trying any herbal formula. Don't go drinking random herbs just to save money on perfume. Traditional Chinese medicine teaches us that true health begins with balance. Jun Zi Tang is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful medicine comes in the simplest form. Thank you for watching.